Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be looking at how Tenerife basically proved that Ayub lied, and Jay's exact ping location shows he would have never made that journey. Also, Spanish police have proof that Jay's phone pinged in 4 different ravines. The first thing we are going to look at in today's video is Jay's ping location and what he would have seen before going off-road. So someone posted on Facebook on the 18th of June saying that this is where Jay's exact ping location was while he was on the main road. So this is what Jay would have seen before he started to go off-road through the mountains. People have said that the reason Jay did this is because he believed it was a shortcut or because he was trying to get to the beach. But if you actually look at these pictures, you can't see any signs of a beach, and nobody would think that this is a shortcut. You have to think, Jay was on the main road, which would have been the best place for him to be. We have all seen that there are plenty of people up in the mountains around this time, and there is a place to get a drink and some food. So why would Jay think that going off-road was going to get him anywhere? It makes no sense why Jay would even start to go off the main road and into the mountains. Also, I believe this isn't that far from the Airbnb either. So if Jay had walked for half an hour until he actually went off the road, he would have been further up than this. But Jay could have stopped at certain points, and he might not have been walking consistently for half an hour. And if this person is correct, and this is the exact point Jay was at before he went into the mountains, I believe that he did not choose to do this. There is no way Jay thought that this would have been a way back to where he was staying. The only reason he would have decided to actually do this is if he was trying to get away from someone and he had no choice but to go off-road. Another thing that bothers me is that Rachel said in her voice note that Jay told Brad all he could see is greenery. And that's true. In these pictures, that's pretty much all you can see. So why would Jay even start to think that this is his way back? If all he can see is greenery, then surely staying on the main road is the only option he has, especially for someone who has never been in Moscow before. These are just a couple of reasons why I believe Jay didn't just decide to go walking down the mountains, and that's not to mention how dangerous it looks. Let's say Jay did actually go off-road and he did make that decision. Then in my opinion, he was trying to get away from a situation that had happened and needed to go where no one else would think he would go. And that's the only explanation for why he would do this. The next thing we are going to speak about is something that Luggy says about Jay being in all 4 ravines, which really makes you question what happened to Jay and if someone else had his phone.
Civil guard turned around and they said, we have definite proof that he was in all 4 ravines at some point because his phone puts him there.
So Luggy says that the civil guard told people that they had definite proof that Jay was in all 4 ravines because his phone places him there. So what are these 4 ravines? We have the Juan Lopez ravine where Jay was actually found. Then we have the Redimer ravine that Luggy mentions in his videos, along with the Las Añas ravine and the Los Carrizales ravine. Apparently Jay was in all 4 of these ravines at some point. You can't even find these ravines anywhere, and I have tried to find the distance between these ravines and how long it would have taken for Jay to be in all of these ravines, but I can't seem to even find the ravines, let alone the distance between them. But this is very strange because for Jay to be in 4 different ravines, that must have taken a long time, and how did Jay even get that far? Bear in mind, he had never been to Moscow in his life, so it makes no sense. What I find interesting is that there isn't actual proof that Jay was actually in all of these ravines, but there's proof that his phone was in all of them. So how do we know that Jay had his phone with him? We have to think about this carefully, because it suggested that Jay was found with his phone. So if he decided to take this route through the mountains to get away from someone and then fell off a cliff, he would have had his phone the whole time. So it's not possible that he could have been in all four ravines, unless he actually was somehow. This is where Jay not being in that ravine the whole time comes into play, because if someone did something to Jay, they could have had his phone and been in all four ravines at some point, and that's why it pinged everywhere. Something that is important is what time his phone pinged in all these ravines, and if Jay's body was dumped in the Juan Lopez ravine, then whoever did this could have been trying to find where to put his body and could have been to 4 different ravines while trying to work out where the best place to leave him would be. What I want to find out is the distance between these ravines and what time his phone pinged in all 4 ravines. We probably won't find out the times, because I don't think the Spanish police will release that information, but what we can try and find out is the distance between them, and if it was even possible that this happened. The last thing we are going to look at is a comment that Chris Tenerife posted where he talks about the stop that Ayub apparently made to get some drinks. So Ayub claims that on their way back to the Airbnb, just before they got to the mountains, he grabbed a couple drinks for him, Rocky, and Jay, and he still made the journey in half an hour apparently. In the interview, Ayub doesn't really say where they stopped to get drinks and just mentions it briefly. He doesn't even say that he actually stopped to get drinks. He just said he grabbed some drinks. But the reason I believe Ayub stopped to get drinks is because he told Cullen that he didn't have any conversations with Jay while they were driving to the Airbnb. The only thing he said was that he gave Jay a drink, and I also think he mentioned that he stopped in one of his lives as well. Chris Tenerife says that there was nowhere that was open around the time they traveled to the Airbnb except from a Shell petrol station that had CCTV. So that means Ayub would have been caught on CCTV and he would have been seen getting some drinks and stopping throughout their journey. But we haven't had any CCTV that proves Ayub stopped and got these drinks. So that could just be another lie, which is why he didn't say what place he stopped at. This is very strange for Ayub to add this information into the story, because it's irrelevant and he could have just left it out. But I believe he said this in one of his lives where he was rambling on and had to stick to what he said. Because making a story up isn't easy, and for it to work, you have to stick to what you have said. And after already making quite a few mistakes in the story, he didn't want to make any more. This proves Ayub lied about getting some drinks, or there is CCTV footage that hasn't been released to show Ayub isn't lying. But I believe if they did have the footage, the Spanish police would have said something. So in my opinion, this was another lie that was told. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will update you as we find out more.